Did you realize that specific common foods you likely have in your pantry could subtly shield your mind and decrease your chance of stroke past age 65? Many folks don't, and that's not their error. When discussing stroke, particularly in seniors, we often focus on drugs, elevated blood pressure, or harmful habits like smoking. But what's frequently ignored is nutrition. Not strict regimens, not costly pills, just basic daily nutrients in proper amounts, backed by research to maintain your blood vessels strong, your blood pressure steady, and your mind alert as you grow older. Here's the reality. After 65, your system doesn't process nutrients as it once did. Your arteries might already be less elastic, your brain more vulnerable to swelling, and slight imbalances in your meals, the type you barely notice, can silently increase your stroke risk without any signs. But the great news is this. By grasping a few vital nutrients and making minor, practical tweaks to what you consume daily, you can reduce that risk significantly. Studies indicate that older adults who adopt stroke-aware nutrition can lower their risk by as much as 30 to 50% over time. In today's presentation, I'll guide you through 7 of the most effective nutrients for stroke prevention after 65. You'll discover what they do in your body, which foods contain them, and how to transform that insight into tasty, brain-supporting dishes. This isn't about worry, it's about taking control because preventing stroke isn't one primary choice. It's a series of small, wise decisions made every day, one meal at a time. So, let's start with the first and most crucial nutrient, one that your brain truly adores: omega-3 fatty acids. Let's embark on our exploration of stroke-fighting nutrition with a potent partner often dubbed the brain's lubricant: omega-3 fatty acids. The body doesn't produce these unique fats, so you must obtain them from your diet, and if you're over 65, your brain and heart rely on them more than ever. But what exactly do omega-3s do, and why do physicians stress them so often? Let's break it down. The science behind omega-3s and stroke. Omega-3s, particularly EPA, eicosapentaenoic acid, and DHA, docosahexaenoic acid, play 3 vital roles in stroke prevention. They combat swelling. Chronic, low-grade inflammation is a primary cause of atherosclerosis, or artery hardening. This condition quietly harms blood vessels over time, narrowing them and raising the likelihood of clots. Omega-3s help soothe that internal swelling, making arteries more pliable and less likely to break. They help stop blood clots. Omega-3s naturally make blood less adhesive, lowering the chance of clots forming and blocking blood flow to the brain, the leading cause of ischemic stroke, which makes up nearly 87% of all strokes. They steady the heart rhythm and blood pressure, especially critical for seniors. Omega-3s have been shown to reduce the risk of atrial fibrillation, a common irregular heartbeat that greatly increases stroke risk. They also help lower triglycerides, which can accumulate in arteries and silently elevate stroke risk. These aren't small advantages. A landmark study in the journal Stroke found that older adults with higher omega-3 intake had a 26 to 30% lower stroke risk compared to those who consumed little or none. That's a massive difference from just a few tweaks to your plate. Where to find omega-3s naturally? Now let's discuss food. The top natural sources of EPA and DHA are fatty fish. Aim for 2 servings per week of wild-caught salmon, mackerel, sardines, herring, or lake trout, each serving about the size of your palm, or 3 to 4 ounces. If you avoid fish or follow a plant-based diet, there are still choices. Chia seeds, 1 teaspoon equals 2,400 milligrams ALA. Ground flax seeds, 1 teaspoon equals 1,600 milligrams ALA. Walnuts, a small handful equals 2,500 milligrams ALA. Hemp seeds, seaweed, or algae-based supplements, a solid DHA source for vegetarians. One key point: plant-based omega-3s are ALA, which the body must convert to EPA and DHA. Unfortunately, as we age, this conversion becomes less effective, especially in men. That's why seniors may benefit from a high-quality fish oil or algal oil supplement, with advice from a healthcare provider. A simple meal idea: brain-boosting breakfast bowl. Here's a stroke-friendly breakfast you can whip up in under 5 minutes. Half a cup of plain Greek yogurt or unsweetened oat milk, 2 tablespoons chia seeds, a handful of blueberries and raspberries, a sprinkle of walnuts, a dash of cinnamon, or a splash of vanilla extract. Let it sit for 10 minutes so the chia thickens, or prep it the night before for a cold, overnight oat-style bowl. This breakfast is packed with omega-3s, antioxidants, fiber, and it's easy on digestion. Common mistakes to avoid. Even with good intentions, many seniors miss omega-3 benefits by eating deep-fried fish, which negates the heart benefits. Relying on omega-3, enriched processed foods, which often contain low-quality oils, or using omega-3 supplements without checking quality. Choose ones tested for mercury and heavy metals. Also, some blood-thinning medications may interact with high doses of fish oil, so always consult your doctor before starting a new supplement, especially if you're taking aspirin or warfarin. In short, omega-3s are among the most potent natural defenders against stroke, especially after 65. They're simple to add to your diet, budget-friendly, and offer extra perks like supporting joints, memory, and even mood. The sooner you include them in your daily routine, the more your brain and heart will thank you in the years ahead. Now, let's move to another vital nutrient that often goes unnoticed but could further reduce your stroke risk: soluble fiber. Now, let's discuss a nutrient that works quietly in the background to safeguard your brain and arteries daily: soluble fiber. You might think of fiber as something that keeps digestion smooth, and while that's true, it does much more, especially for stroke prevention after 65. What is soluble fiber? Soluble fiber dissolves in water, forming a gel-like substance in your digestive tract. This gel does more than aid digestion. It actively pulls harmful cholesterol from your bloodstream, stabilizes blood sugar, and nourishes your gut's healthy bacteria, which science now knows plays a key role in reducing swelling and protecting brain health. That's a powerful trio for stroke prevention. Lower LDL cholesterol. When LDL, the bad cholesterol, builds up in the blood, it forms plaque in arteries. Over time, this plaque can narrow or block blood flow to the brain. Soluble fiber traps LDL in the digestive tract and removes it before it can cause harm. Steady blood sugar levels. Spikes in blood sugar cause blood vessels to stiffen and weaken. Soluble fiber slows digestion, keeping blood sugar more constant, which also reduces the risk of type 2 diabetes, another major stroke risk factor. Nourishes your gut microbiome. Good gut bacteria thrive on fiber. In return, they produce compounds that combat swelling and help regulate mood and blood pressure. A healthier gut means a healthier brain. Best food sources of soluble fiber? You don't need anything fancy, just real food. Top sources include oats, especially steel-cut or rolled, apples with the skin on, pears, carrots, sweet potatoes, barley, beans and lentils like black beans, kidney beans, chickpeas, flax seeds, and chia seeds. Try this simple breakfast idea: apple oatmeal with cinnamon and walnuts. Use half a cup of rolled oats, 1 chopped apple, 1 tablespoon ground flaxseed, a pinch of cinnamon, and top with a few crushed walnuts for texture and extra omega-3s. This meal delivers soluble fiber, antioxidants, and brain-supporting healthy fats all in one bowl. How much do you need? For older adults, the recommended daily fiber intake is about 21 grams for women over 50 and 30 grams for men over 50. But here's the issue: most Americans, especially seniors, get only half that amount daily. So, how do you fix that? Start with small swaps. Choose whole grain bread over white. Use beans instead of meat in one meal daily, or add a fruit or vegetable to every meal, not just dinner. Even adding just 5 more grams of fiber daily has been linked to a 12% lower stroke risk, per a study in the journal Stroke. Cautions for sensitive stomachs. If you're not used to high fiber, don't increase too quickly. Add 1 serving at a time and drink plenty of water. Soluble fiber needs liquid to work, and without enough hydration, you might feel bloated or constipated. Also, if you've had intestinal surgery, inflammatory bowel disease, or follow a low-fiber diet for medical reasons, check with your doctor before making significant changes. In summary, soluble fiber doesn't just aid digestion. It cleans arteries, balances blood sugar, and feeds your gut to reduce swelling. All of that means fewer clots, fewer blockages, and a lower stroke risk. So, the next time you prepare breakfast, ask, is my fiber working for my brain today? Coming up next, we'll discuss two minerals that quietly manage blood pressure, heart rhythm, and stroke risk, and you might be missing them without realizing it: magnesium and potassium. As we age, one of the biggest hidden threats to brain health isn't what we feel, it's what we don't. High blood pressure is called the silent killer for a reason. You may feel fine, but over time, it silently damages arteries, weakens vessel walls, and greatly increases stroke risk. That's where magnesium and potassium step in. These two essential minerals act like internal commerce, relaxing blood vessels, lowering pressure inside arteries, and helping your heart keep a steady beat. Why magnesium matters. Magnesium supports over 300 biochemical processes in the body, many involving blood vessels and muscles, including the heart. It regulates muscle contraction, preventing arteries from tightening too much, supports healthy blood sugar levels, crucial since blood sugar instability raises stroke risk, and balances calcium in cells to prevent unwanted clotting and vessel spasms. Low magnesium levels are linked to higher ischemic stroke risk, elevated blood pressure, and irregular heart rhythms like atrial fibrillation. What's surprising? Nearly 70 to 80% of older U.S. adults don't get enough magnesium from food alone. Why potassium is critical? Potassium works with magnesium to stabilize the electrical system of your heart and brain. But more than that, it flushes excess sodium from the body, directly lowering blood pressure, reducing artery stiffness, and improving kidney function, which regulates fluid balance. Per the CDC, low potassium and high sodium intake, a standard combo in processed food diets, is linked to much higher stroke and heart disease rates. The ideal ratio is more potassium, less sodium, a simple shift that could save lives. Foods rich in magnesium and potassium. You don't need pills, just the right foods. Top magnesium sources: leafy greens, spinach, kale, Swiss chard, nuts and seeds, pumpkin seeds, almonds, sunflower seeds, legumes, black beans, lentils, whole grains, brown rice, quinoa, avocados, and bananas. Top potassium sources: bananas, sweet potatoes, beans. White beans are exceptionally high, beets, oranges, dried apricots, and potatoes with skin. Pro tip: try a warm bowl of mashed sweet potato with a sprinkle of cinnamon and chopped almonds. It's rich in both minerals, easy to digest, and tasty. What about supplements? If you have kidney disease, be cautious. Too much potassium or magnesium can be risky. Always consult your doctor before taking supplements. That said, for most seniors with healthy kidneys, getting these minerals from food is safer, better absorbed, and comes with extra fiber, antioxidants, and flavor. Real impact. Studies show seniors who boost potassium-rich food intake can lower systolic blood pressure by 3 to 5 points, reducing stroke risk by up to 10 to 15%. Those maintaining magnesium levels above 375 milligrams daily have been shown to cut ischemic stroke risk by up to 22%, per a 2017 meta-analysis in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition. To sum it up, magnesium and potassium may not be glamorous, but they're foundational, keeping your heart steady and your brain shielded from silent pressure that builds with age. So, next time you build your plate, ask, does this meal support my minerals or deplete them? Now, let's move to a lesser-known but equally potent stroke protector found in colorful fruits and teas: antioxidants. If you've heard someone say, "eat the rainbow," they were likely referring to antioxidants, the vibrant compounds in fruits, vegetables, teas, and herbs that shield your cells from harm. But what most don't realize is that antioxidants aren't just for skin aging or vision. They play a vital role in stroke prevention, especially for seniors. What are antioxidants? Unstable molecules constantly attack your body called free radicals, produced during digestion, stress, pollution, or too much sun exposure. Over time, they damage cells, stiffen arteries, and promote swelling, all increasing stroke risk. Antioxidants are the body's internal defenders, neutralizing free radicals, reducing oxidative stress, and keeping blood vessels elastic and clean. The older you get, the more you need them, as your body's natural defenses weaken over time. How they protect against stroke. They improve blood vessel health. Antioxidants prevent LDL cholesterol oxidation, the kind that sticks to artery walls and forms plaques. reduce swelling, chronic inflammation damages artery linings, and boost brain circulation. Certain antioxidants, like flavonoids in berries and cocoa, improve blood flow to the brain, supporting memory and reducing small vessel stroke risk. A major neurology study found that seniors with the highest antioxidant-rich food intake had a 29% lower stroke risk than those with the lowest. Best food sources of antioxidants. You don't need pricey powders or pills, just colorful food. Think berries, blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, blackberries, dark chocolate, 70% cocoa or higher, in moderation, leafy greens, spinach, kale, beets, rich in betalains, great for circulation, GRE. Pro tip: for a brain-supporting afternoon snack, try a cup of green tea with a square of dark chocolate and a handful of fresh berries. What about teas and spices? Herbal teas like rooibos, hibiscus, and chamomile are antioxidant-rich and calm the nervous system, indirectly supporting heart and brain health. Spices like cinnamon, clove, and oregano are surprisingly potent. One study ranked antioxidant density and found cloves, cinnamon, and turmeric among the highest per gram. So, when you cook, season generously. You're not just adding flavor, you're protecting your blood vessels. Supplements? Yes or no? Doctors generally recommend getting antioxidants from whole foods, not pills, as supplements can provide unbalanced doses that may backfire. Some high-dose antioxidant supplements, like vitamin E, have been linked to increased bleeding risk in people on blood thinners. Whole foods offer nutrient combinations that work together for better absorption and effect. In short, antioxidants are your natural shield, fighting invisible stress that silently harms arteries over time. They come in every color of nature, and every bite makes a difference. So, next time you prepare a meal, ask, where's the color on my plate? The more vibrant your food, the brighter your brain's future. Now, let's explore a lesser-known but game-changing vitamin that keeps arteries flexible by managing calcium placement. Vitamin K2. If you've been advised to take calcium for bone health, especially after 65, you're not alone. But here's what many doctors overlook. Calcium only helps when it goes to the right place. That's where vitamin K2 steps in, and for seniors focused on stroke prevention, it's one of the most underrated nutrients. What does vitamin K2 do? Think of calcium as a strong but aimless worker. Without guidance, it can settle in the wrong places like artery walls instead of bones. Vitamin K2 acts like a traffic director, guiding calcium to bones and teeth, keeping it out of blood vessels. Why it matters after 65. As we age, calcium regulation becomes less efficient. Many seniors take calcium supplements but not K2, which can lead to calcium buildup in arteries. Arterial stiffness increases naturally with age, and calcification accelerates this. If you have high blood pressure, diabetes, or kidney disease, the risk of arterial calcification is even higher. K2 helps protect against this by ensuring calcium strengthens bones, not clogs arteries. Where can you get vitamin K2? Unlike vitamin K1 in leafy greens, K2 is found in smaller amounts in specific foods, especially fermented or animal-based ones. Think natto, fermented soybeans, a top source, common in Japan, hard cheeses, Gouda, Edam, brie, egg yolks, from pasture-raised chickens, liver and organ meats, grass-fed butter, and some fermented dairy. While natto isn't common in American diets, adding aged cheeses, pasture-raised eggs, or a bit of fermented food to weekly meals can make a big difference over time. Pro tip: scramble 2 pasture-raised eggs with spinach and mushrooms, sprinkle with aged cheese, and serve with whole grain toast for a K2-rich, stroke-conscious breakfast. Should seniors take a K2 supplement? If you're taking calcium, vitamin D3, or have known plaque buildup, your doctor might suggest a K2 supplement, often paired with D3 for synergy. The -7 Malawian Kwacha's form of K2 is most effective, as it stays active longer. But if you're on blood thinners like warfarin, consult your doctor first. K2 can affect how those medications work, so that adjustments may be needed. To wrap up, vitamin K2 may be small but mighty, keeping calcium where it belongs and arteries clear and flexible. For seniors focused on bone strength, adding K2 could also protect their brain from the inside out. Next, we'll cover a vitamin that supports nerve function, brain clarity, and may reduce stroke size and severity, especially in seniors. Vitamin B12. Let's discuss a vitamin that often goes unnoticed until it's too late. Vitamin B12 deficiency becomes surprisingly common and potentially serious. But for stroke risk and recovery, B12 might be one of the most critical nutrients to monitor. What does vitamin B12 do? It plays a key role in producing red blood cells which carry oxygen to the brain, protecting nerve cells by building and maintaining the myelin sheath, the insulation around nerves, lowering homocysteine, a blood substance strongly linked to higher stroke and heart disease risk when elevated, and supporting brain clarity, focus, and mood stability. In short, B12 keeps your brain sharp, nerves calm, and blood vessels safe. The hidden danger after 65. As we age, the stomach's ability to absorb B12 from food drops significantly due to lower stomach acid. Medications like proton pump inhibitors for reflux or metformin for diabetes, or conditions like pernicious anemia and autoimmune B12 deficiency. Even if you eat meat and eggs regularly, your body might not absorb B12 properly. Deficiency symptoms can be subtle. Fatigue, weakness, numbness or tingling in hands and feet, memory loss, confusion, trouble walking, balance issues, or pale/yellowish skin. What's concerning is that long-term B12 deficiency can mimic dementia or stroke signs, but is reversible if caught early. How does B12 affect stroke risk? High homocysteine levels, a byproduct of protein metabolism, are directly linked to arterial damage, increased clotting, and higher stroke risk. B12 helps break down homocysteine and flush it from the bloodstream. A 2013 stroke meta-analysis of 19 trials found that homocysteine-lowering B vitamins, including B12, cut stroke risk by 12 to 15%, especially in seniors. For those recovering from a mini-stroke, TIA, B12 supplementation improved neurological recovery and reduced recurrence risk. Where to get B12? It's found only in animal-based foods. Beef liver, very high, eggs, especially yolks, dairy, milk, yogurt, cheese, fish, salmon, tuna, sardines, poultry, and red meat. Pro tip: a breakfast of scrambled eggs with spinach and a side of Greek yogurt provides B12 plus supportive nutrients like iron and calcium. If you're vegetarian, vegan, or have low absorption, B12 supplements, sublingual or injections, may be needed, as they bypass the stomach and absorb directly into the bloodstream. Testing and supplementation. A simple blood test checks B12 levels. Optimal levels for seniors are above 400 pg/ml, though many labs use lower cutoffs, which may miss early symptoms. For most seniors, a daily 250 to 500 microgram supplement is safe and effective. In deficiency cases, doctors may prescribe weekly injections until levels normalize. To summarize, B12 is vital for brain clarity, nerve function, and lower stroke risk. Yet it's a common deficiency after 65. If you feel unusually tired, forgetful, or off balance, it might not just be age, it could be B12. Next, we'll explore a potent antioxidant vitamin that supports blood vessel repair, immune function, and stroke recovery, especially with other nutrients. Vitamin C. When you think of vitamin C, you likely picture colds, citrus fruits, or morning orange juice. But this essential vitamin is more than an immune booster. It's a key ally in stroke prevention and vascular protection, especially for seniors. How vitamin C works. It's a water-soluble antioxidant, working in fluid parts of your body, like blood plasma, to neutralize harmful free radicals. This is critical in blood vessel linings, where oxidative stress leads to plaque buildup, atherosclerosis, arterial stiffness, and microtears that increase clot risk. Vitamin C also helps produce collagen, the main protein keeping arteries and capillaries strong and flexible. Think of it as your blood vessels maintenance team. It boosts vitamin E effectiveness, iron absorption, and immune regulation, all vital as repair systems slow after 65. What does this mean for stroke? Studies show low vitamin C levels are linked to higher blood pressure, increased arterial stiffness, greater stroke severity, and longer recovery. A 10-year American Journal of Clinical Nutrition study found that seniors with the highest blood vitamin C levels had a 42% lower stroke risk than those with the lowest. A 2013 neurology study showed that patients with higher vitamin C levels at stroke onset had better recovery and shorter hospital stays. Where to get it? Vitamin C is in colorful fruits and vegetables. Bell peppers, especially red and yellow, kiwis, oranges, citrus fruits, strawberries, papaya, mango, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, and tomatoes. Pro tip: combine citrus with iron-rich foods like spinach or lentils to boost iron absorption, a common deficiency in seniors. Try the Stroke Smart snack, a small fruit salad with strawberries, kiwi, and orange slices. Refreshing, antioxidant-rich, and easy on digestion. Supplements, when are they helpful? Most can get enough vitamin C from diet. Still, supplementation may be needed if you smoke, are exposed to secondhand smoke, have chronic illness, low appetite, poor digestion, or have had a recent stroke or surgery when repair needs are higher. The recommended daily amount for seniors is 75 to 90 milligrams, but many experts suggest 200 to 500 milligrams for optimal vascular support. Be cautious with megadoses over 2,000 milligrams, which can cause kidney stones or stomach upset in sensitive individuals. To wrap up, vitamin C doesn't just fight colds. It strengthens blood vessels, reduces oxidative damage, and aids stroke recovery. The best part? It's easy to find, delicious, and affordable. Next, we'll look at a plant-based compound. What are flavonoids? They're a large family of phytonutrients in colorful fruits, vegetables, teas, and herbs. They act as antioxidants, neutralizing free radicals, anti-inflammatory agents, calming immune responses in vessel walls, vascular regulators, helping arteries dilate and improve circulation, and platelet managers, reducing blood stickiness that leads to clots. Types like quercetin, catechins, anthocyanins, and flavonols each offer unique benefits, but together, they keep blood flowing smoothly, prevent clots, and protect delicate brain vessels from rupture or blockage. How do flavonoids lower stroke risk? They improve endothelial function, making blood vessel linings more flexible, reduce blood pressure by relaxing vessel walls, prevent blood clots by lowering platelet aggregation without dangerously thinning blood, and enhance brain perfusion, better blood delivery to memory and movement centers. A Harvard study of over 93,000 women found that those with the highest flavonoid intake had a 19% lower ischemic stroke risk. Other research shows flavonoids boost cognitive health and may slow age-related brain decline. Where to find flavonoids? They're everywhere if you know where to look. Berries, blueberries, blackberries, cherries, dark chocolate, minimum 70% cocoa, green and black tea, red cabbage, red onions, citrus fruits, especially peels and membranes, apples with skin, pears, plums, kale, parsley, and celery. Pro tip: start your day with a brain boost tea, green tea with lemon and a few frozen blueberries stirred in. Antioxidant-rich, circulation-boosting, and brain-friendly. Should you take flavonoid supplements? Most doctors recommend whole foods over supplements, as supplements often isolate one compound, while natural foods offer a synergistic mix that the body uses better. If considering cocoa flavonol capsules or tea extracts, talk to your doctor, especially if on blood pressure or blood-thinning medication. To summarize, flavonoids, natural tool to improve circulation, reduce swelling, and protect against stroke. They're in your favorite fruits, morning tea, and even dark chocolate. Coming up in our final section, a quick recap of all nutrients covered and how to put them into action in one easy-to-follow daily routine. Stay with us because the most minor changes often make the most significant difference. You've learned about 8 essential nutrients that science shows can significantly reduce stroke risk after 65. But now comes the key part, turning knowledge into action. So, let's make it simple. Here's how to build a stroke-smart daily routine using these nutrients. No gimmicks, no exotic ingredients, just everyday food, wise choices, and a little planning. Start with your morning. Blend a smoothie with half a cup of oats, 1 tablespoon chia seeds, half a cup of blueberries, half a banana, a handful of spinach, and almond milk or Greek yogurt. This single meal covers fiber, omega-3s, antioxidants, potassium, magnesium, And B12. Enjoy it with a warm cup of green tea to add flavonoids and kick off your day with circulation-supporting compounds. Midday, focus on a large salad with mixed greens, chickpeas, cherry tomatoes, grated carrots, and hard-boiled eggs. Dress it with olive oil, lemon juice, and a pinch of turmeric, and pair it with whole grain toast topped with avocado for extra potassium and healthy fats. For an afternoon snack, treat yourself to a small square of dark chocolate and a few walnuts, both rich in flavonoids and omega-3s. As dinner rolls around, build your plate around steamed or roasted vegetables like broccoli, beets, or Brussels sprouts. Add a serving of grilled salmon or hearty lentil stew, and a side of sweet potato or quinoa. For an optional bonus, include a small piece of hard cheese, a great vitamin K2 source. Before bed, unwind with chamomile or rooibos tea, and if advised by your doctor, consider a B12 supplement, especially if your diet is low in animal products. Let's quickly recap what we've covered. Omega-3s reduce swelling and prevent clotting. Fiber lowers cholesterol and stabilizes blood sugar. Magnesium helps lower blood pressure. Potassium balances sodium and supports heart rhythm. Antioxidants protect vessel walls. Vitamin K2 prevents calcium buildup in arteries. Vitamin B12 supports nerve health and lowers homocysteine levels. And flavonoids improve circulation and reduce clot risk. Stroke prevention doesn't have to mean fear or complexity. It means daily decisions, simple habits that protect your brain, strengthen your heart, and support a longer, healthier life. If you start with just one change today, a morning smoothie, a daily walk, swapping salt for herbs, you're already building your defense. If you found this guide helpful, please like and subscribe. Share it with someone over 60 you care about. It might save a life. And if you're ready for more, check out our next video on stroke warning signs every senior should know, because knowledge is your strongest shield.